let's go ahead and I'm gonna sit up. You'll see I'm gonna sit all the way up on a oh, here comes Linda. I knew she was coming. Um, I'm gonna sit all the way up on a little cushion here, two different ways, and this is just a nice way to, especially if you're getting back to sitting on the floor in a regular kind of way, to let your spine lengthen as your hips are releasing. So you may want to sit on a prop, you may not. So I'm going to be here for just a moment and place my hands on my pelvis, and with my thumbs here at the back of my hips, just kind of guide your sitting bones down a little bit from the back. So I'm going to actually kind of push down on the back of those bones and feel myself sit up a little bit taller as a result. You may want to take one hand, slide it to your sacrum, and then take the other hand to the top of the head and press in there. So the top of the head is reaching up. Good. You might feel just a nice little gentle stretch in the shoulder. Let's go ahead and switch the position of the two arms so you can have that sensation there on the other side, feeling your back lengthening. Good. And then let's go ahead and bring your hands here for a moment to your two thighs. Slide the arms out. Good. And feel, we're going to lengthen the arms, lengthen the back of the neck, open the palms, and just take a few big breaths. So you can close your eyes. No one ever calls me, but of course during yoga class, someone would call. Um, Close your eyes, take a big deep breath, and start to feel your breath move down deep low into your belly. And then exhale, feel your spine grow, your sit bones press into the floor. Let's try that a few times. You're going to inhale fully, take the breath nice and low, and exhale. Pull the front of the ribs in. Let's try that just one more time. Beautiful. And then from here, I just want you to take your two arms out for a moment. And then let's just circle the arms in the shoulder socket so you can feel the arms stretch up, out, back, around. Good. If it feels nice, keep a little softness there in your shoulders. You can do that by folding at the elbow. Good. Let's try this just a time or two more. And make sure you change the direction so you can work on extending through the arm and perhaps also bending. Good. And then let's try, even just here for a moment, a little almost like an arm bicycle. So you're going to stretch and reach one arm out and forward, and then the opposite arm is going to pull back. So I want you to pay attention to where you might feel some discomfort in the arm, where the shoulder might feel tight or pinched, and just slowly, slowly, slowly move through that sensation. Right. So if there's anything that feels really uncomfortable, you want to slow down in that spot. Go ahead, take this little bicycling action in the opposite direction. It's like a slow motion little dance here. Good. And then let's pause. Pull your elbows together back behind you so you feel your chest expand and the scapula move onto the spine. And then we're going to exhale, interlace your fingers right together in front of your heart. And exhale, move the palms out, and you can move your rib cage back. So just to get a little stretch in there, we'll reverse that. Inhale, stretch. I'm going to almost press my heart here into my palms. And then exhale, move the heart and the palms in opposition. So you can inhale, come up, 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 up. And exhale, reach the arms out. Okay, let's try this one More time. Inhale and exhale. Good. Take your two arms up for a moment. And then if you'd like, you can rest your knuckles here on your head. And then stretch, reach one side over. And you can kind of feel the armpit move up towards the ceiling. And we'll inhale and exhale. Reach that over. Inhale. Exhale. Reach it over. Inhale. And exhale, reach. So you should hopefully feel a little stretch in this armpit area, in the chest, where you have so many lymph nodes, so many things. It's nice to get a little blood flow circulation in that area. Beautiful. So now let's take care of Alden's neck a little bit. Everybody take your hands here back behind your head. And I want you to just take your thumbs and rub into the occiput. So right at the where your skull comes over those smallest vertebrae of your neck. Just rub your thumbs in there. And then you can rest your head for a moment in your two hands. Let the head go back as comfortably as it will. Good. So again, no big movement you have to force. Just find where it feels good to you. And then move your head forward and let the back of the neck stretch. Let's inhale, bring that right back up. Good. And then exhale, bring it right over once again. Good. So now you'll feel maybe the weight of the hands is giving a little extra stretch to the back of the neck. Good. Beautiful. And now from here, let's go ahead, open, take your two arms up overhead. Feel your neck float freely side to side as the arms continue to stretch up. And then we're going to exhale, release the arms down. And then just lightly circle your ribs all the way around. Good. So this can be soft. It doesn't need to be the full extent. Just notice opposite side stretching, and then really a nice stretch in your lumbar spine as you move forward. Let's change that direction. Good. And so sometimes the slower you can move will really unlock where the tightness is, where the discomfort is. So if you find a place that feels a little, intense or uncomfortable to you, see if you can just be there for a moment. Okay, slow that movement down. Beautiful. So now we're going to sit all the way up, and I'm just going to unfold my two legs for a moment. So if this is comfortable to you, again, you can sit on a cushion, or if you need that little bit of extra height. Let's take our arms up. And I want to exhale and just pull an elbow to a knee. Inhale, sweep, take it up. Opposite elbow to knee. And you can just flow here a few times. Good. Noticing that long stretch in your back as you come down towards the leg. Good. You can always aid your stretch with an exhale. So perhaps inhale, come up, and then exhale, float down. Inhale, find yourself moving up. Exhale down. Let's do this to each side. One more time. Good. And then we'll inhale, take your arms up. Exhale, create a little twist as the arms open, and then twist in the opposite direction. Imagine as you twist, the top of the head still is reaching towards the ceiling. Good, so that the spine stays vertical as you twist. Inhale, center. Exhale. Good, and it also is nice. You can give your body little tactile cues by putting your hands there on the top of the head. As you move to the center, feel the neck lengthen and open. Good. Let's do this one more time here. Beautiful. And then from here, see about bringing two hands back behind you for a moment. I want you to feel the palms, kind of base of the hand makes contact. And then lengthen the elbows out, just any amount. This doesn't need to be huge, just a lengthening in the elbows as the scapula pulls together. Good. And then let's go ahead, slide one leg out. I'm going with my right one. And I'm going to bring the opposite leg in. So feel for a moment, maybe hands on your hips, the inner and outer rotation of the extended leg. So you haven't moved your leg in and out in a bit. This might be a little uncomfortable. Good. So then I want you to hold the kneecap facing the ceiling and then send the heel out and away from the hip so that you get a real stretch and you're really controlling the stretch out through that leg. Good. And then once you've got that heel reaching out and away, you can get a little bit more stretch there in the leg by rolling your pinky toe towards the floor. Good. And then from there, you can inhale, let the arms float up. And exhale, just stretch towards that leg any amount that feels good. Top arm, those fingers extend. Give it one more big breath. Good. Then that top hand, let it pull your neck away for a moment. So you just feel a little stretch there in the shoulder. And then we'll exhale, lift, bring yourself back up and draw that leg in. Let's try that on the other side. So I'm going to first just extend the leg out to the side, rock and roll the head of the humerus in the hip socket. Good. And now with the kneecap facing the sky, stretch and extend that knee out a few times. You might feel more pull in the hamstring as the knee extends. That's good. Good. And then from there, hold the leg as long as you can. So lengthen it as much as possible. And then turn the outside of the foot so the pinky toe rolls down towards the floor. And then we'll inhale, take the arms up. Exhale, just bring yourself towards that leg. Good, this top arm can travel up. Good, getting a nice long stretch in your back. And then you can bring your hand to the opposite ear. Stretch, pull the neck away for a moment. And then we'll exhale, come right back up and slide two legs out. Good. And then from here, just open your palms. Let your sternum lift up. And maybe even let your torso float back just a little. Good. Then from there, take a deep dive forward, just any amount that feels good to you. Inhale, extend your sternum, reach it away, lift your chin up. Feel the front of the throat stretch. And then exhale, walk two hands to one leg. Good. Then you can always just do a little neck check, side to side, arriba y abajo, up and down. Good, and then let the hands just crisscross as you move across your midline. Beautiful. Taking care with every little movement there. Stretch and reach. Chin down and up. Chin over one shoulder. Over the other shoulder. Beautiful. Inhale. Let's sweep, bring ourselves all the way back up. And then we're going to slide ourselves off of your prop. And we'll start making our way down to the floor. So I'm going to let the left side of me face the computer here. And bring your hands here back behind your legs for a moment. And then you can slowly just find a comfortable way to the mat for you. Good. And once you're here, perhaps with your knees over your chest, go ahead, take a little rocking of your low back side to side. Good. This can be a bigger movement if you like, letting your knees come closer to the floor. This can be just a really small movement, almost just like a little massage for your back. Good. And then from here, let's take a pause with your knees right over your chest. Reach one heel up and extend as much as you can through the back of the knee, and then exhale, let the leg come right back down. So just take that movement really slow. Stretch, reach the heel to the sky and right back in. You'll inhale, exhale, reach the leg up. Inhale, bring the leg down, and exhale, extend the opposite leg. So pay attention to that relationship between the front and the back of the extending leg. The more you engage your quadricep, the more the hamstring can stretch. So exhale, reach the heel up. Beautiful. And then let's try this. Leave the right leg in the air. Turn the toes in and toes out. Toes in, toes out. Again, just feeling rotation, head of the femur bone. Good. And then you can add into that rotation a little circle of the leg. Nice, slow, steady, easy. Good. Change the direction. Good. And then let's exhale, bend the knee, bring the leg back in. Opposite heel extends to the sky. Inner and outer rotation of the leg. So it's almost like you were kind of massaging your hip joint. Good. And then from here, let's go ahead and just create those little circles. So you can circle wide as the leg rotates out and then circle in. Beautiful. Change the direction. Good. Pause. Let's put both feet on the floor for a moment. And with your feet here on the floor, go ahead, stretch. Take your knees to one side. Push down with your feet and send your hips out and away. Let's melt the spine back to neutral position. Take that stretch on the other side. So it's the feet pushing down now that is going to stretch your hips. It's this nice, light little movement. Good. And you can bring your arms in opposition so they stretch towards one side with opposite hand and elbow together. And exhale, change. Good. Exhale and change. Exhale, change. Good. Now from here, let's pause. Reach your arms down to your sides. Push your feet into the floor, and then you're going to curl, draw your tailbone up and lift the hips. Give this a few breaths. Good. So now again, you want to feel the heels push down to let the pelvis rise up. Exhale. Float the bones of your back down to the floor. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhale.
And curl your tailbone under and begin that lift of the pelvis up. Take a few breaths. Exhale, release, let that come down. One more time, inhale. And exhale, the feet anchor into the floor as the pelvis rises. Good. This time, if you wanted to bring your palms together underneath you and walk your shoulder blades in. After your next exhale, release the bones of your back slowly back down to the floor. Now you'll take your right ankle, place it on your left thigh, and then we're going to take that little rocking of your hips again. So knees to one side, knees to the other side. This movement should feel anchored through your bottom foot. Good, so you'll feel the external rotators stretch. And then you're going to feel a little bit of a psoas stretch. Good, let's take a pause. And exhale, draw the two knees. So just bring this whole little configuration up over your chest. Just with my thigh bone here of the parallel leg, I'm going to pull in a little bit. And notice that is going to deepen the stretch in the gluteal external rotator area. So you can just, without even your hands, feel that sensation. And then if you like, extend that parallel leg. And maybe take your hands somewhere on that leg that feels good. Could even lightly roll the tailbone up from the floor. And this will bring the stretch into that sacral area. Good. And now I might just fold this knee over. So my two legs are kind of stacked over me. Good. I'm propping it here with my hand. So opposite hand and foot are together. And then I'll bring that leg back to the floor and then walk it out on the floor. So now, my inner thigh right at the hip can get a big stretch. Take some long breaths here. And then you'll press the foot of that top leg into the floor and then let your spine twist towards it. Then reach your top arm the opposite. Well, really, it's the same arm, but reach it away. A few big breaths. All right, and then with the top leg, just roll it back. Place it on the floor. Lift the opposite leg and take that ankle to the thigh. And we'll just try this little sequence on this side. So you're going to reach your hips one way, reach the hips the other way. Just lightly rock. So we can let the movement, just a rocking action, can be really beneficial to your nervous system. Just let that act of rocking help you find a little calm. And then when you feel like taking a pause, leave your two knees up here, and then we're going to lift the legs right over your torso. So your parallel leg can press in a little bit towards your bent leg, and that is going to deepen the stretch in the back of the hip. Now, once again, that parallel leg, you can send the heel to the sky. Take your hands here anywhere on the leg that feels nice. And add a little stretch. You can let the tailbone roll up. And then exhale. See about, if you want to, you can fold this leg in. Again, this will deepen the stretch in both hips. Let your breaths go long and sort of explore where it's tight. Breath can kind of add some elongation to those muscles. And now you'll exhale, release that back leg, let the leg come down, slide long on the floor. And now this hip right here in the crease is going to get a stretch. One more big breath, and then this knee can fold over the torso and help you generate a twist. That same arm pulls back. And then from here, just slowly bring two knees back over your chest. Let the soles of the feet come together, and you can take your hands around to the outsides of the feet. So to get a deeper stretch in the glutes, press the heels into one another and pull your tailbone away from your head. And then let's slowly set your 2 feet on the floor and take your 2 hands here back behind the head for a moment. So in the perfect world, we have the soles of the feet together, outside edges of the feet are pressed into the floor, and the knees are opening away from the hips. And you're really just letting that inner thigh area get a big stretch. Gravity is aiding. Now pull the elbows in to your peripheral vision and exhale, just let the head come up. So this is less about abdominals and more about really letting the weight of the head rest in your hands. You can turn your neck a little bit side to side. exhale, release your head down. Take your two arms up. And now your knee that's furthest from the computer screen, just roll it over and on to your bottom knee. Okay, press your top hand into the floor. And then let's just open and close your top leg a few times. So let this movement be slow, light, fluid. So you're just feeling that bone opening. Good. It's important to leave the hips where they are and then let the knee open away from the hips. Good. Let's hold with the knee open and then hug it up. So the knee comes towards your shoulder. Feel the sides of your back lengthening out. Good. If you like, hook the hand here back behind the leg. And then exhale, allow the leg to just extend. Good. Maybe your hand reaches a little higher up in that leg and provides some resistance, but maybe not. Again, just trying to make these stretches comfortable. We're going to let the hand now move to the ankle and allow the kneecap to stretch. Quadricep knee stretches behind you. I'm going to pull my heel just gently, gently, gently towards my sitting bone. And that will, again, aid this stretch here in the front of the hip. And then you can lightly bring your hand right back down to the floor and then just lightly circle the femur bone in the hip socket. Circle the femur bone the other way. Lengthen the leg. And same thing, couple tiny little circles. Then we'll change the direction. Bend this knee. Bring the leg right back down slowly. Then with this hand, so your front hand, top hand, push into the floor. Bring yourself up. Take your sternum, stretch it up. Good. And then see if you can gather your weight and stretch your arms in opposition to that side we were just on. Got two arms down now. My hands, you'll just make a nice stretch if you reach your hands towards your feet. And somehow that makes the whole body. The knees are stretching, sides of the back are stretching. Beautiful. Let's inhale, take your arms up and find that little sequence on the other side. So let yourself down easy here. And you just want your knees to be bent. I'm going to slide this way just a hair. Knees are bent. Push, if you can, your top foot into your bottom foot. And then begin that light little opening of your knee. So it's going to open And again, explore the movement with a steady hip so that hip bone isn't rolling forward or back when the femur bone lifts and lowers. It's just right there anchored. Good. So let's hold the knee open for a moment. And then use an exhale, pick it up. So you're going to hug the arm here around the leg. Let the hip relax. Let the sides of your ribs lengthen. And then you can hook this arm to the thigh and perhaps lightly extend. Again, just feeling every little movement. Maybe even sliding the hand further down the leg. If you've reached your hand further, remember you can always send the leg into the hand, and then vice versa. We'll bend the knee, keep the hand on the ankle here, move the kneecap now back, back, back. And again, your hips stay parallel, one on top of the other. This is going to allow the front of the hip and the kneecap to stretch. And then from here, just let the top hand come right back down. And then you'll let the hip circle lightly, lightly, lightly. Change the direction. And then if you like, let the leg lengthen. Same thing, just light little circle. And the other way. Good, we'll bend the knee, bring it in, set it down, take a breath. And with this top hand, once again, push, extend, reach your sternum up and away from your hips. And exhale, move it back. Sternum comes up. So let the belly stretch, the throat stretch. And exhale back. Good. See if you can gather your weight on top of that bottom thigh. Open the arms and then stretch them back. And then slowly let the hands come down towards your feet. Your head can also just melt towards your feet. And then we'll inhale, open right back up. Exhale, come for a moment onto all fours. So let's begin with just a little light cat-cow. Inhale, send the tailbone, the head away from one another. Belly stretches. And exhale, pull it in. Inhale, take it up and out. Exhale, bring it right underneath you. Just feel every inch, your range of motion, every centimeter. Good. And then take your head to one side and your hips to the other. And then lightly reverse that. Letting the sides of the back stretch. From here, return to your center and let the hips just circle around behind you. And you can try a few circles moving the other way. Inhale, return to the center. And then exhale, let the forearms float down. And you can let your head come to the floor also, so you've lifted the tail. And now I'm going to deepen the stretch just a hair more by letting my sternum float down towards the floor. That might feel good to you. That might be too much for your upper back. So just decide what feels like a healthy stretch. I've also extended my arms. That doesn't necessarily feel great on all shoulders. Let's exhale. Pull your weight back towards your feet and come take a little stretch in a child's pose for a moment so the tops of the feet are melting into the floor. Walk your fingertips away from the sits bones. Walk your fingertips to the left side of your body. And then we'll walk our fingertips to the right side of the body. Let's take the left hand to the left side, right hand to the right side. Exhale, lift your head for a moment. Good. And exhale, your two hands pull forward. Last little stretch. Do we have time? Oh, yeah, we have time. So here we go. You're going to slide your right leg forward and underneath you. And let your left leg lengthen. So right here, just take a moment to rock your hips. You'll see, hello, baby. Your hip bone, this little point, you want to let it come down toward your heel and then let it move away so that you're creating a little rocking. You'll notice as that hip moves to the floor, the stretch deepens. So again, let that rocking action allow the muscles and your connective tissue to relax. Good. And then as it's feeling comfortable, you can take your elbows, forearms down to the floor. Just feel that hip bone So the idea is that your sacrum then becomes long and broad, parallel to the floor. So Chris, Margarita, we got inner thighs, we got outer hip, we got glutes. It's all stretching. Beautiful. Exhale, push, walk your weight up, fold your back leg in, and then for a moment, maybe just sit here in this little W shape. Maybe reach your two arms back behind you so you've stretched your torso away from the legs. And then we'll inhale, come up. Exhale, pushing two hands back into the floor. Slide the right leg back. And then you'll see I'm going to pull my left leg now forward. And then once again, just try that little rocking action. So just hip bone pulls up from the floor, hip bone rolls down closer towards the heel of your front foot. All right, and then when it feels comfortable to leave your hip bone down, see if now your forearms can come towards the floor. When the forearms come down, we don't want to round in the upper back, so it might actually feel better to you to leave your hands on the floor and then just gradually bring your elbows down so your back can stay long. So when we round, you'll just notice if you pull your ribs up and you round the back, it puts a lot of pressure on the neck, and we want to avoid that. Good, so let's exhale, push the hands here into the floor, top leg, it bends. You're gonna, or that back leg is gonna bend, and then you're just gonna stretch your torso for a moment away from your two legs. Good, and then exhale, that back leg comes forward. And we are going to take ourselves down to the mat. So I want to prop my pelvis up here in my Shavasana. This is just for me. You can do this if you like or skip it. And then in case you can either let your knees can stay bent, feet on the floor, or you could lengthen your two legs long. So now bring all of your awareness to your breath. If your allergies will allow, see if you can take your breath in and out of the nose. And see if you can lengthen your exhales, even just by a little bit. Now take one full, big, long inhale. Hold that completely. And exhale, let it go completely. Inhale fully. And exhale, let it go. Last time, inhale, full, big breath. And exhale. And you can begin to wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. Circle ankles, circle your wrists. And drawing your knees up over your chest, just let the back rock a little. Side to side, front to back. And then we'll roll onto one side. Rest in a fetal position. And then with your arms press up, find seated. Bring your palms together before the heart. Bow the head, close the eyes. Your practice is a gift, everyone. Thank you. Enjoy your Tuesday evening. Namaste. Mia!